3 races remain in the NASCAR Amino Stop Motion Series. We're in Sparta, Kentucky for the running of the NASL 24K. Only 4 spots in the playoffs are up for grabs. Jared Holmes is one of them, and he once again finds himself out front for the start of a NASMS race. The question becomes, will he learn how to not choke a race away? He starts on the outside of row 1. Also in this field, we expect fierce and spirited competition between the 4 drivers already secured in the playoffs. And boy, we're in for a real treat tonight, with Pichu Millard, Raven Dagan, Chase Newsom, and Sammy Fulmer starting 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 8th respectively. And for the first time, I'll be joined in the booth to broadcast a NASMS race. I'm Cater Johns alongside Giancarlo Urenda. Welcome to the booth, my guy.
Thank you, Cater. I am truly humbled to be here.
You made a big announcement after your tragic DNQ yesterday due to a crash in qualifying. So what was that announcement?
Yes, well, I have decided to step away from driving because I seemingly cannot catch a break, which I blame all on Wyatt Luffman. So I have decided in turn to give up my seat for some fresh pieces of young talent.
The 04 car will not compete in tonight's event due to the crash, but we will see a new face in that car beginning at Bristol next week.
Also in recent news, Elon Salberg will drive the 10 car for the remainder of the season, following Bob Ross's launch into oblivion. Unfortunately, he will not compete tonight due to complications from intense diarrhea.
Man, that is just absolutely unfortunate for that young kiddo. But as that beautiful cat blesses Kentucky Speedway, it's time to crank up the engines here for the start of the NASL 24K.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to Swaggy C as he gives the command. Drivers, start your engines and get lit!
We are getting ready to have some fun in the Bluegrass State. Here's the starting lineup. Take it away, Giancarlo.
Thank you, Cater. In row 1, you will find our pole sitter for tonight's event, Sean Nova, alongside Jared Holmes, who simply cannot catch a break in this series.
In the second row, 2 winners already this season. It's the 43 of Pichu Millard with 1 win, and the 36 of Raven Dagan with 2 wins.
In row 3, you will find the 18 of Chase Newsom and the 13 of Klaus Michelson, who, to be honest, has really done nothing at all this entire season.
In row number 4, making his first start in the 15 car, it's Greg Servia. He'll start next to the 48 of Sammy Fulmer.
In row 5, we find Tristan Beazle in his gorgeous paint scheme, alongside the 75 of JD Bregler.
In the 6th row, you'll find Paul Donlin also making his first full-time start in the 42, replacing Jose Delgado. He's next to Satoru Tanaka for the start.
In row 7, we find the 27 of Wyatt Luffman, who I hate with all my flesh and bones, alongside the 12 of Stephanie Blaney, who I don't hate at all.
And in the 8th and final row, back marker Malik Vega will start next to once was fan favorite Hingle McCringleberry.
And now as we look at the DNQs, as established, I will not be competing in tonight's event, and Elon Solberg will not be competing in tonight's event either due to his intense diarrhea. And Mackenzie Navarro will not be competing in tonight's event either, which is a fat rip to Jared Holmes since he has openly stated that he wanted revenge on Mackenzie after last week.
And before we get the green flag, here's Getting the Dub presented by Fortnite. It's a very cloudy and windy night tonight, so be careful when racing side by side with another race car. The inside line is expected to prevail again from what we saw in practice, and it's time to get aggressive because we only have a few races left until the playoffs begin. These drivers need a win to get locked in. The drivers are at the ready to go green at Kentucky. There they go, entering turn 1.
As they exit turn 2, Sean Nova pulls ahead, Pichu Millard pulls alongside Jared Holmes. These two will battle side by side coming out of turn 4. Sean Nova will lead the first lap here at Kentucky.
And now side by side for second place, it's Pichu Millard and Jared Holmes. It's not going to end well. Around goes the 43 of Pichu Millard, hard into the wall and back across the track, and somehow not hit by another car. That will bring up the first caution at Kentucky Speedway.
Well, what we can hope for now is that Pichu Millard is not injured or at the very least dead, as that was a very hard hit and we have too many of those. Anyway, Pichu Millard got loose off of Jared Holmes' left rear quarter panel. He came down into the inside wall hard. then pulls a Jeff Gordon and slams the open barrier, then comes back across the track right in front of Raven Dagan, who somehow avoids him before slamming back into the outside wall hard.
Tell you what, we are very lucky Pichu Millard is okay after that one. That looked violent, but he's alright. We don't need another death in this series. A violent one early at Kentucky, but we'll be right back after a commercial.
I thought maybe today we'd make a scene that's very happy, beautiful little scene with a lot of color in it, very easy that you can do. There we go. Okay, let's just put a happy little mountain, something about like that. And let's paint several little happy trees and push. Look at there. There. MTV, the land of happy little trees.
Boy, am I going to miss Bob Ross. Rest in peace. Again. To the middle, 3 wide on the restart. Raven Dagan to the lead. Briefly, as he goes up the track, Sean Nova will go back into the lead. But boy, what an effort by that 36 car. As Chase Newsom and Jared Holmes, rivals on the track, make contact. And Greg Servia up to second, having the night of his life at Kentucky.
As we take a look at the replay, Chase Newsom and Jared Holmes, two of the most aggressive racers in this series, just got way too aggressive with each other and got loose. This allows both Greg Servia and Klaus Michelson to take advantage of this and gain some extra positions.
Sean Nova has led every lap so far tonight, and coming around to lead them the most out of the competition, he has garnered 15 bonus points. So he will have a good points night no matter what, as he's built his lead to over 2 seconds over the 15 of Greg Servia.
It appears that Jared Holmes is suffering from a mechanical problem. Oh, around goes Santoro Tanaka, hauled into the wall. So, oh my goodness, Greg Servia hauled into the wall and turned. Oh my goodness.
What a vicious accident entering turn 1 at Kentucky. And I believe it was caused by fluid leaking from the 96 car. As you see the 90 just quickly go across the frame. The 17 must have got into it and almost made contact with the wall, as well as the 90. And then the 15 also sliding in such violent contact. Lots of hard hits tonight, Giancarlo. I mean, that's just insane.
Indeed, so we have sent the Tonka crew out there to repair it. Very unfortunate for all of these drivers involved. Seems, and Jared Holmes still cannot catch a break in this series. And now as we overlook the field from the backstretch camera, let's take a look at some notables that are up at the front at the moment. First off, Wyatt Luffman. He is currently at second at the moment, and he's currently 14th in points, so this could be the big break he needs. As much as I hate him, this could be his potential saving grace.
We talk about needing a win to get into the playoffs. Even Paul Donlin in his first start can do it. He is running 5th, also having a great night after performing so well at Michigan but didn't get the result. Will he get the result tonight at Kentucky? We will have to find out. Let's take one last look at this accident as the red flag has been lifted and cleanup has been completed. You see Jared Holmes clearly going down into the racing groove, and that's just what triggered this whole thing. Starting with the 90, making big contact with the wall.
And then Sean Nova barely manages to stop and turn away from Tanaka before Greg Servia just comes flying in like he doesn't know what on earth he's doing and absolutely destroys the Jenga wall.
We are back under green here at Kentucky. 2-lap shootout as the 27 and the 17 are side by side for the lead as they're 4 wide behind them. And the side draft on the 27. Sean Nova to the lead, coming to the white flag. The 27 trying to find a way around, peeking to the inside.
As I come out of turn 2, oh, Wyatt Luffman hard into the wall. That's what you get, you junk. Paul Dolan has moved up to second. It's not going to be enough now. Sean Nova will win at Kentucky. What an amazing finish here at Kentucky. Wyatt Luffman, buddy, I can't say you didn't deserve it, but I still hate you, so...
Man, Giancarlo Urenda throwing some shade at the 27 from the booth. How about that? But the 17, you saw him get moved up in the middle of the corner by the 27, and I don't think he appreciated it. Just dumped him. And what another hard hit, but wow. Sean Nova, the officials are not saying anything about the move, though, so they're going to give Sean Nova the W here at Kentucky. And this means he is the 5th driver to lock into the NASCAR Amino Stop Motion Series playoffs. How about that? Here are the point standings. Raven Dagan still on top with 2 wins. Then it's Fulmer, Millard, Newsom, and welcome to the playoffs, Sean Nova. Also in position to make it, if the playoffs started today, it'd be Bregler, Blaney, and Michelson, but unfortunately for them, that's not the case. Beasel and McCringleberry, meanwhile, are on the outside looking in.
As we look at the final 9 standings, such unfortunate circumstances for Satoru Tanaka. He was so consistent early on in the early part of the season, but he's been hit by such bad luck as of late. I honestly don't see him making the playoffs unless he gets a win.
Man, just a wild, hectic race tonight at Kentucky. Let's see if we'll see more of the same as the regular season will conclude at Indianapolis after Bristol next week. We hope to see you there. I'm Cater Johns alongside Gene Collier-Urenda, signing off. Tune in next time.